I'm kind of excited. I always love like a fresh start, a new year, and even as chaotic as this year has been for all of us, right? There also has been some really amazing things that have also come out of 2020. How many of you just in the chat bar have seen your businesses grow significantly in 2020? Anybody? Just drop it in the chat bar. Those of you who have seen growth, those of you that have found, the Beachbody, there's Kaylee and Steph, right? Your beach biggest paychecks this year ever. Rachel Mitchell, yes. Yeah, like coaching. I was actually at dinner last night with our neighbors, our old neighbors that lived in our last house that we lived in. And the husband was like, so how has Beachbody done this year, with COVID and all the craziness? And I was like, literally our businesses exploded this year. It was just one of those like blessings, because even though so many people unfortunately lost their jobs, so many of us were able to continue to provide for our families. So many of us were able to bring people into our team, and they were able to create income because of it. We have a lot of people that were able to build their Beachbody business while they were off, enough that they didn't have to go back to work. People that achieved incredible weight loss success, throughout all of COVID. And so it's such a blessing. It is such a blessing. And even if you're sitting here listening right now and you're like, oh man, like, did I miss the mark? Like, I just signed up. So does that mean like listen, it's never about, did I get in at the right time? Am I under the right sponsor? It's not about any of that. It really truly is about us being able to say, can I seize the opportunity? Can I grow my business exactly where I'm being planted right now in the season that I am in? And it truly is about just taking imperfect action. And I've watched, our team, I've watched all of us sort of navigate through the challenges of 2020, and we're learning so much through it. We're becoming such strong leaders, and we're really learning to handle our stress in a healthy way. We're learning how to teach our kids responsibility, and we're learning how to lead a team. And so I'm so grateful for what this company has given all of us, and what it's going to give to the next generation, to all of you that are sitting here on this call right now, that have big goals and big dreams. So the biggest piece of advice I can give you is this time of year, this last 5 weeks of 2020. All right. This is the time where, not everybody's thinking about health and fitness. Not everybody's thinking about, weight loss, right? Or starting a new plan. But there are a heck of a lot of people that are. There are a heck of a lot of people that are watching you, and this is your time to shine. This time of the year is where people are really making a decision. Do I want to commit in January, and who do I want to commit with? And I want them to be thinking of you. I want them to be remembering you, because you showed up and you were intentional with your workouts. You were intentional with your social media. You came in with this serving heart of, how can I serve the people that are right in front of me? And you learned through this process. So you guys, we've got lots coming up this week. We've got Rachel Mitchell. She is hosting the call tonight. She's going to talk about creating really amazing social media content. Next week, next Tuesday night, we have Autumn Calabrese on the call, and she's talking about the launch of 9 Week Control Freak. We're in the process of, we're going to do how to launch it, right? How to launch 9 Week Control Freak next week. And if you are listening to this call right now and you have not hit Success Club yet, please do not start talking about 9 Week Control Freak, okay? If you've hit Success Club, you're good. You can do whatever you want, because you've gotten the goal out of the way. But if you haven't, please don't promote something that you can't actually sell, and you can't sell 9 Week Control Freak yet. All right. So that doesn't come out to coaches until the 7th. And then customers is the 21st. So for right now, we are focused on what we can actually do. And that really is like your holiday survival guide, whatever you're doing, between Thanksgiving and Christmas and the end of the year, that is your focus right now. Okay. All right, you guys. So I am going to turn it over to Rachel Mitchell. For those of you that don't know Rachel's been a part of my team for Six years. So 6 years now. She is a two-time elite coach too. I like did not do my homework. Two-time elite coach. And Rachel is a rock star. She is a mom of two boys. Actually, our boys are like the exact same age. And so I feel like I attracted a lot of boy moms to my team, but Rachel just has the most kind, caring heart, and she's such a servant leader, and she is a go-getter, and she just advanced 2 new diamonds in her team this past week, which made her second business center 2-star diamond qualifying. She is organized, and she is just like this. She's like that duck that's calm on the surface, but is like paddling underneath. That she just does an incredible job, and I'm so excited for her to share with you her knowledge, and the way that she really creates content that brings people in. So, and she's also homeschooling her kids this year too. She chose that. That was not a forced thing. That was something that her and her husband had chose to do. So you guys, I'm going to turn it over to Rachel, and she is going to take it away.
I feel like she just made me sound super fantastic, and you're about to get a real life look into my life, because it's crazy town over here. But that is my life, and that's what I'm going to talk about tonight, because it's really important, you guys, for us all to remember that we're just normal people. Like, we're normal people. And one of my oh gosh, Katie Watson, I wish she was on here. She's a newer coach. She said something in our new coach challenge group this last week, and said that being human is like the best gift that you can give to people. And that's what I want you to take that away from tonight. Yes, I am organized. Melanie taught me to be so, but really it's just taking the craziness of life and just putting it out there into the world and letting people understand who you are, and that you don't have to be perfect to do anything that we do, from fitness to business, all the way up. So Mal, can you make me a host? Oh, I am a host.
Yep, I made it. I did.
Gotcha. She's on top of it. See? Okay, so I am going to share with you tonight. I love, if you're on my team, you can type in the chat bar, like, how many times a week do I say content generates conversation? Like, I say it over and over and over, because I know we come into this business and we're like, oh my gosh, like, I have to start inviting people. I have to start following up with people. I have to start explaining what Beachbody is. I have to start talking about all the things. But really, if you can just start posting, if you can just start putting stories out there and just start doing the things that, like, you're a coach, or maybe you're a leader on here and you're like, I can't get my team to invite, I can't get my team to post, those types of things. Like, let's just simplify it. Our job as coaches is, number one, to always be on a fitness journey. You should be committed right now to a workout program, to a nutrition plan. I know it's the week of Thanksgiving, but that does not mean that you just, like, this is your job. Not having a perfect body is your job, but taking care of your body is your job. That is a gift. And so yes, we should always be committed to our workout programs, committed to our nutrition plans, and you're going to have ups and downs. I would say, like, probably 90% of us this year, COVID has probably thrown a wrench in what we've committed to as far as our fitness, but we always have Beachbody, you guys. Like, Beachbody is a gift. The workout programs, you don't have to wonder how to get back on track. You don't have to wonder what to do. It's all laid out for you. And that is what we are committed to for ourselves, getting our own results and simply sharing that with the world. And if you can do those two things, then you are always going to have, you're always going to have results to share with people. You're always going to have a story to share with people. And your story is what starts the conversations that lead to challenge packs, that lead to new coaches, that lead to Success Club and rank advancing. It really and truly just starts with you and putting your story out there on social media. So I'm a big believer in making sure that you are on top of your social media game. And it's hard in the beginning. So we're going to talk about that, and just about consistency and all the things that I feel like have brought me success personally. And I don't know when I stumbled on this quote. It's been a long time ago, but I love it. Brian Solis said, social media is not about sociology, is about sociology and psychology more than technology. And, I hear so many coaches be like, I don't know how to make a reel. I don't know how to make stories. How do you talk and put your words over your stories and all those things? You'll figure that part out. Like, anybody can learn how to do that. But it's more about being yourself and connecting with the people that are watching you, even if it's one person. Even if there's one person watching you today, you can grow that number. But being yourself and being genuine and just continuing to put your story out there is what matters the most. And so tonight we are going to talk about using social media to grow your business and how to do it the right way. We're going to talk about being you. Branding is a word that intimidates people, but I just like to say, be yourself. Like, be yourself. Don't try to come up with this like perfect like PDF of an avatar or things like that. Just be yourself right now. Okay, that's all we're asking of you. Sharing versus selling. We're going to talk about IG stories, how not to use social media. I'm going to talk a little bit about planning your content. Definitely want to leave you with some tips, just some words, so that you do maintain a healthy relationship with social media, because it can suck you in and drain the life out of you if you don't create boundaries for yourself and for your family and for your business. And we're also going to talk about the fact that repetition is key. And I think I totally misspelled repetition, so please forgive me. I'm a teacher. That's embarrassing. But yes, repetition is key. So first things first, and this is actually kind of what I train my new coaches on right away. We always tell you to make sure you set up your bio on your Instagram feed, put some words in there that are going to explain who you are. But really, I want you to think about the fact that when people come to, and I'm going to focus on Instagram because I think Instagram's way more important than Facebook, honestly. But don't neglect Facebook. But we're going to go at it from an Instagram point of view. But who do people get when they come to your page? If it says Beachbody coach or fitness coach, or like if it has your team Beachbody link or something up there, they're just going to be like, oh, she's like everybody else out there, right? But if you put some words up there that really describe who you are, and this is what mine says today. It has my name. Obviously, I'm one of those people that I like to see names when I go to accounts. I don't have my pictures there, but if you go to my Instagram page, you can see it. I just cut it off. But it says, let's talk about Jesus here, because I love to talk about him. I am a homeschooling mom, but I'm not just a homeschooling mom, I'm a first time homeschooling boy mom. Okay. So this is our first like 3 or 4 months, and we are legit surviving. Okay. Sort of fit. I mean, I don't look like my trainers, that's for sure, but I am stronger than I used to be. I am a Southern gal, and I want people to know that there's a way that you can work with me, right? And I'm not just offering, when you click that link in my bio, it's not going to say join my Beachbody group. It's not even honestly going to have a link to my bod group. I love that resource that they've given us, but it's going to have links to my blog, to a Google form that's going to tell you about me and what I offer as a coach. It's going to have links to some PMDD resources, that's just hormone resources. It's going to have links to some different things. It's going to have some free stuff too. All right. And a lot of you guys may ask me, how do you create that link? But it's really simple. There's lots of resources, but just make sure that when people come to your page, they kind of understand who they are going to get. Make sure there are no Beachbody words, no Beachbody lingo, no Beachbody links. If you have that, go take it off tonight. Okay. Because that is just going to make you look like every other Beachbody coach out there who's not branding themselves and maybe who doesn't have an understanding of who they are. And so the other thing that's really important whenever people come to your page, if I have things about Jesus, if I have things about boy mom, if I have things about being fit, but nothing in that is reflected in those first few squares on my page, then people are going to be like, she is not legitimate, and she's saying she's this, but I don't see anything about being a boy mom or about fitness or about Jesus in her pictures, right? So it's got to add up. And if you're just starting, that's okay. Just start where you are. But tell people who you are, and then within a couple of scrolls of your page, people should see what is in your bio, right? So like I think it's Melanie that always says you should have a transformation in every 9 squares. And I think I didn't have one in like 12, and I was kind of freaking out, and I had planned one for tomorrow, and I did one today, because like I want to be consistent in showing people what I'm doing, that I'm getting results, and that this is important to me, and I want it to be important to other people who are looking for that in their lives too. All right. So this is another thing that I love to have new coaches do. And even I had a coach who's been with me for a while, within the last couple of weeks, who was just really struggling with being herself, with really telling her story and not copying other people. You know, she found herself copying the words of other people a lot. She was using stock photos. And I was like, look, have you done the color wheel? And she said, yeah, a long time ago. I said, it's time to do it again. And the color wheel is really just like you sit down and you brain dump. Like you get out a sheet of paper, you walk around your house, you like ask your spouse or your friends, like, you know, what makes me me? And, you know, I could walk around my house and see without like having to look very far that I'm a homeschool mom. My dining room table is filled with homeschool books. Like I'm a follower of Christ. I love history. Like was trained to be a history and political science teacher. So I soak it up. Obviously, I'm a boy mom. We love to go camping. I love to get up early. Like I did have to discipline myself in a little ways, but like I love to be up early. Those hours from 4:30 to 6:30 or 7 are mine. Like I don't function well without them. That's part of who I am. I really like to talk about marriage. I don't have a perfect marriage, but I think marriage is important. And our society has like just kind of just trashed it. And so I like to talk about that. I am a binge eater. Like that's part of my health and fitness story. You know, I could have eaten Milo's entire birthday cake if I could have sat down by myself for like 2 hours, but I didn't, thank God. But you know, that's just my nature. I was very skeptical about network marketing. I love to read biographies. You give me a good biography and like, I can't put it down. You know, we have a Friday night family night. We love to travel. Those are just some things I just dumped on here, honestly, like 10 minutes ago. But I know who I am. I didn't know who I was before I started coaching. Quite honestly, you guys, like I was just surviving. I had 2 small boys. I had, you know, went to college and got a master's degree and got a job after that, like just because that's what somebody told me to do, right? I had no idea I would be good at this. I had no idea I had this creative nature in me. I had no idea that, you know, like I could lead other women in doing this. And when I write on here that coaching is a journey of self-discovery, like I am living proof of that. So like when you sit down to write out a post and you think, I don't have words to say, or there's nothing interesting about me, you just do it anyways, because you are going to discover who you are when you take action. It's not, you don't have it all figured out before you start making the posts, before you start doing the workouts, before you start inviting. But I've been a coach for 6 years, and you can ask my husband, he's in the next room. Like I'm a totally different person than who I was when I started coaching. And I will say boldly that God has used this business to change me and to bring these things out of me. So like if you're sitting there with a pen in your hand or you know, a keyboard in front of you and you don't know what to say about yourself yet, just keep doing it. Just keep writing, just keep making the post, just keep just asking for clarification, because it will come, and the world needs to hear what you have to say. The world needs to hear your story. I say this all the time, just like I say, content generates conversation. I say your story is not your own. You can't stay quiet if you have discovered anything in this business, whether it's like, hey, that workout program works for me, or whether it's, you know what, I don't have to go to a Weight Watchers meeting every week to lose weight. Or you may have discovered that, you know what, I can build a business around my family and it really gives me purpose and fulfillment. And, you know, I used to feel bad about that, but now I'm surrounded by women who feel the same way and I feel empowered. You know, your story is something that someone else needs to hear, but you gotta sit down and get serious about figuring out who you are and starting to tell that story. So if you've never done the color wheel, I think I got it from Ashley Smith or Allie Tessitore. I don't even remember. It's not mine. I can't take credit for it, but it works. Okay. So, and now all I have to do is I incorporate all these things into my content. Not all at the same time, but I never run out of things to talk about and to share with the world. Okay. And these are people that I connect with. I connect now. I mean, I swear probably like 90% of my Challengers signups have been homeschool moms since we started homeschooling, because I started to talk about it and look for other people who were in that same boat as me, and so on. So that's the color wheel. If you've never done it, just do it and you'll have content for just to get started. So sharing versus selling. Social media, I mean, we've all been hit with the cold invites. We've all seen the people holding their products up, saying, buy this makeup, buy this hair product, and you don't know anything about the person. They're just selling a product. That's really not us. You can't be successful in this business just selling. Do we sell a product? Absolutely. We sell products that are amazing, that work. We should never be ashamed to say that we are Beachbody coaches, that we do the 21-day fix, that we drink Shakeology, that, like we follow the 2B mindset. Those are amazing products and programs. I am proud of those, but I'm not here to sell Beachbody. On social media anyways. I am here to tell people my story of how those things have changed my life. You are going to start to share your struggles. You're going to share your wins. You're going to share funny things. You're going to share, for me personally, my health and fitness journey, even before the business part started to grow, just me changing what I was doing for my body and making better choices and feeling more confident with my husband and in what I was doing with my family, that changed first. And that's something that I know other people want. And because of those things, I've learned some tips and tricks, and I can share value. I can encourage people. I can share, tips to get your kids to eat more vegetables. It's not perfect, but I can share what works for us, right? I can share tips on how to become an early riser. I can share tips on how to invite God into your fitness journey, right? Because I've been through those things myself. I tell my team all the time, this is an integrity-based business, and nobody's going to buy something that we're not doing ourselves. And because you're doing the workouts, because you're following the nutrition plans, because you're getting results, because you're drinking Shakeology and love it, you don't have to be worried about offering it to other people. You should be worried about not offering it to other people, right? If your life has changed, you have to tell people about it. And so, that salesy thing that fear comes from being salesy. But when we start to just tell people what we're doing and what's working for us, it's really more so sharing, and we want to share it with the world, right? And I say, give more than you ask. And any good coach is going to tell you that. Any good mentor, any good training is going to tell you to give away far more than you ask. And I'll give some examples of that tonight, okay? All right, posting strategy. And if you're a coach of mine, you've seen some of this before, because this is how I train my new coaches. But your posting strategy. I always say, and I think it's a pretty common understanding, don't post more than once a day on Instagram. And I'm talking posts. Hey, Matt, that's kind of loud. You guys, that's kind of loud. Okay, so always use your own photos. And now on Facebook, let me clarify, if you want to post more than once a day on Facebook, that's totally cool. But Instagram, the way the algorithm works is like, just post once. And so I really do have to put a lot of thought into what I'm going to make in that one post. But the good news is that you have stories to say everything else that you want to say throughout the day. But here are some of my best tips for when you're posting that one post a day. And if you go to my feed, you are not going to see a sweaty selfie every day. You are not going to see an invite post to a challenge group or coaching every day. I'm going to do it frequently, but more so, you're going to see my kids. You are going to see me working out. You're going to see me sharing about my faith. You're going to see me sharing my homeschool struggles or things that we have found that work for us. But it's always going to be my story, all right? Now, in 6 years, I can tell you I've copied some posts, and I'm not proud of that, but I have done it, and it feels horrible, and it gets you nowhere. So if you are copying other people's words, then please promise me you'll stop right now, because your story is so important. And your photos are really important. I know it's tempting to go and to just pull some stock photos or to, use a photo somebody else uses, but don't do it. Even if it takes you an extra minute, even if you don't get to post your photo on time, even if you have to set aside a couple of hours on the weekend, which I highly suggest you do, make sure your feed is filled with your photos, all right? Because people are going to you, and they're not going to connect with somebody else. I really encourage my team, and you guys, don't post in the moment. This is really hard. And honestly, sometimes my words come best in the moment, but I typically plan out what I'm going to post from day to day. Like I'm going to show you an example I shared with my team this weekend, but like I know what I'm going to post about tomorrow. I know what I'm going to post about on Thursday. I know what I'm going to post about on Friday. I may not have all the words written out, but I have a really good idea, and it's based on what my goals are. So if I'm not at Success Club this week, now obviously people are not going to be just jumping to buy a challenge pack the week of Thanksgiving. They're not going to want their inbox filled with invitations to buy something, but they are watching you. They are watching you. They see what you're eating. They see whether you're working out or not. Is Rachel going to take a week off of workouts like I normally would, or is she going to keep showing up? And I'm going to keep showing up, and that's going to put me in a position of trust and authority with my followers, right? But going back to, I plan my social media content based on what my goals are. If I need to hit Success Club, you can guarantee I'm going to be sharing tips. I'm going to be sharing workouts. I'm going to be inviting every day in my stories. I'm going to have at least one, probably two call to actions in my posts. So if it's coaching, it's going to be about coaching. This week, honestly, I'm really focused on sharing value. Like I want to share tips and tools and let people into my life this week, right? So my content is planned out based on that. And I'm definitely more than just about fitness. You know, people are going to see you working out in your stories every day. You don't have to post a sweaty selfie every day. People are going to get tired of it, honestly. If I go to your feed right now and it's all sweaty selfies, I probably wouldn't even read what you have to say. But if it's a good variation of different types of pictures that are going to draw me into your life, then I'm more likely to stay there and read what you have to say and get to know who you are, and be more likely to want to join your challenge group when you do talk about it. All right. So just do a reflection, or ask somebody to audit your page tonight and see how you could mix it up a little bit more if you need to. The other thing, so at our leadership this last year, it was virtual, but Ashley Smith talked about this posting strategy, and it just stuck with me. Like I've been a coach for 6 years, and it just made so much sense to me. And she shared, like, there are 3 main types of posts that you can make, and their value, and their viral posts, and their vulnerable posts. All right. And this is really, really good. So if you are a newer coach, listen up. If you are struggling with your content, listen to this. It's really good. Value posts. Like, obviously, you guys, like, I feel like Melanie has taught us this well. Like, every post that you make should have some type of value. Never be like a so what poster. Don't ever just post and say, oh, I did a 21-day fix. That's great. But why did you do it? What obstacles did you overcome? Like, what was your goal today? What was your mindset while you pushed through those 10 burpees that you had to do, right? Don't ever just post and say, I did something. Share your story when you do it. But a value post is one where you share tips on how to do something, right? I've gotten in a habit of every Sunday, I share tips on how to prepare for your week. It may be planning out your business. It may be like getting your family on board with your schedule. It may be, laying your workout clothes out. It may be like making a meal plan. It may be prepping some food. Like, I don't know. Like, I have just gotten in a habit of saying, what am I doing this Sunday to get ready for my week? And how can I share that on social media? And if you don't have any how-to tips yet, and you're like still figuring it out, Google and Pinterest are your best friends. Like, how to make a meal plan, how to invite your kids into the kitchen, right? How to whatever you want to share. You don't have to be the expert, but you can figure it out and present yourself as the expert as you're figuring it out, right? And just invite people along the journey. You can even say, I just Googled how to make almond flour muffins, right? The internet is my best friend. Like, be real with people. Don't worry about being perfect. People don't want perfect. People want a sloppy mess who's willing to try and not give up. All right. So add value in your posts. Another type of posts are viral. These are fun. These are really fun. It can be anything. Like these quotes that you see all over social media, you share them yourself. You do. How many times do you share a post to your stories that really resonates with you? Okay, guess what? Now you get to be the person who makes those posts. And so what I do is oftentimes, like on Instagram, I will create like saved folders, saved collections of posts that I either want to rewrite or use that quote and give that that account credit if I take it from somebody else. Or, you can go on Pinterest and just make a file that says funny mom memes or funny mom quotes. And, you can be faith-based ones. I have a friend, a coach who is, she's all about paying off debt, Dave Ramsey, so she'll share white quotes that are shareable. That have to do with that. So whatever your market is, go back to your color wheel. Just have some quotes like that are ready to go that people will share. All right. So that's a viral post. And then a vulnerable post is one that's really relatable. I know this is hard for a lot of coaches to be yourself, to share the struggle. I remember the first time that I shared with people in college, I had an eating disorder. Like, I was really scared to share that. I was scared what people would think of me. I didn't know how that was going to be received, but I did it because I knew I was supposed to. And honestly, that month, I think I sold like 10 challenge packs because people like really related to who Rachel was more so than what I was selling. And they trusted me because I got vulnerable. So being vulnerable is a really, really important piece of this business, but it's how people learn to trust you. And I'm not telling you have to share all your dirty secrets with the world, but if it's something that you feel led to share and you've let fear stop you, then it's time to step out of that and just go for it. All right. I'm gonna give you a couple of examples of these. So a value post, and the picture is key. I think the picture is what makes people stop and read. But this is a post I did that had to do with like building a business. This was not fitness related, but I had just gotten a lot of objections from coaches, or a lot of coaches starting and getting excited, and then they just would stop and they would like get on all my calls and they wouldn't do anything. And, it was just like, they were like self-destructive, almost in their business. And so I decided to put it into a post because I knew if my coaches were struggling with it, I knew that other coaches were, and other business owners were struggling with it. And so this was a value post where I told my story, and then I gave a lot of tips to get outside of that kind of vicious cycle of self-defeat in the start of your business. And so that was a post that added value. I didn't ask for anything, I don't remember, but I didn't ask for anything, but I know it served a lot of people. It was well received, right? So value posts all the time, always. Even if you're making a call to action post, add value first and then ask for people to do something. Viral. This was one that really related to my market. Just wondering how long I can sit on the couch before getting up and pretending I was cleaning the whole time. So you see, I got it from another Instagram account, but I gave them credit for it. So I said, at Cotton Popper, you nailed it, sister. And I said, Mama's, how many times a week do you try to pull this off? Really? So like, that was not me asking for anything. It was just me speaking to my market, to my niche. And again, it was shared a lot. It was liked a lot. It was commented on a lot. And it just created a lot of growth as far as the algorithm in my account. So, just start to collect these things, like just start to collect these type of posts or ideas, and you can share them when you need to push something out where you need a lot of engagement. And they're really fun too. Like, it's really fun and it's a great way to connect with people. Honestly, I connect with a lot of people who comment and like on these posts and start conversations. Vulnerable. This is where you really just share the hard. You share the struggle. You get real about the fact that, yeah, you see me showing up, but it's not always easy. So this one, I even said that before you go thinking this is easy for me. I struggle with binge eating. I still struggle with it. I can be a slave to things I'm not proud of. I can never do this alone, and I have to daily lay my struggles down at the feet of Jesus, right? So, and then I'm like, but if I can do it, then you can do it, right? Since I'm human and I'm showing up, because of that, I know you can do it. And it was a call to action. But I didn't ask anybody to do something that I was not doing. I was struggling through my own strongholds. And if I can do this, then you can do it, right? So that's a vulnerable post where you just really tell people, look, I'm human, and this is what makes me human. And I want to help you. I want to link arms with you. And let's just keep showing up together, right? So being vulnerable is important. Nobody wants to see somebody perfectly crushing their life, because that is not reality. Okay. So here are some things to do after you make your content, after you make your posts. You definitely, like this morning, I made my post really early before I got up to push play on my workout. I made sure that I went and I shared the love in the comments on other people's posts and their stories. Because when you make a post and you just go away, then honestly, not a lot of people necessarily are going to see it. Yes, you put your hashtags there. Yes, you do all you're supposed to. You post it at the right time. But if you really want to create engagement on your feed, you want to go give engagement. This is not a business where it's me, 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 me. I've done this. I put it out there. You actually got to build the relationships with other people. And one of the best ways to do that is to go and like and comment on other people who are in your feed, or respond to their stories. I love this part of my job, honestly. I love to give the love. I call it giving the love. Another thing to do is, like, after you post, go back, and we're going to talk about this in a minute, but go respond to people who have responded to your stories from yesterday. Every single day, you are going to be putting stories out where you're giving polls, options, not just to join a challenge group, but to engage with you over other things. And if you go back and you send messages to people who did that, they're going to see your content more, right? So also, if somebody comments on your post right away and you comment quickly, it's just going to create better engagement and algorithm. All right. So Instagram loves, loves, loves when you engage with people. So make sure you're doing that, especially before and after you post, but a couple of times a day as well. Instagram stories, these matter just as much as your posts. Okay. They matter just as much as what you're putting in your square. I think stories matter than what you put on your feed, because it's real life and people are sucked into real life. Okay. Think about what reality TV shows, The Bachelorette or whatever you watch, and you love to see it happening, unfolding in real life, as real as this can be. But you know, they are drawn to who you are, and a perfectly curated Instagram feed is great. It's pretty. People like that, but people want to see who you are every day. So some things that I share in my stories every day without fail are my workouts, products that I use. You're going to see me show my Energize and usually my Shakeology every day. I try to share at least one healthy meal every single day. Definitely stuff about my family, about my faith, about my kids. I invite in my stories every day. I invite to something every single day, except maybe on Sunday. Because if I don't, people are going to forget what I have to offer. And when people see me stop, they're going to stop thinking about it. So I'm putting that out into their minds every day. And it's not like a perfect story series every day. Sometimes it's just me talking to the camera right after I finish my workout, but I invite every single day. And you know, right here, predictability is not always a bad thing. People can trust me. People know I'm going to get up. They know I'm going to share a verse, and I'm going to share a takeaway from my quiet time that morning. They know they're going to see my kids every day. They know they're going to get some type of meal or tip or recipe or just some encouragement every single day. And they will come back for that. It doesn't matter if I'm inviting every day. They don't get tired of that. They want to see what I'm giving them and sharing from my life every single day. And so some things not to do in your stories, like honestly, I say don't post 100 stories. I usually keep mine between 12, 15. I don't do 30, honestly, most days, but it's like between 15 and 20 stories a day. And I try to just make sure I have something up every couple of hours throughout the day. Definitely don't just post fitness. People want to know who you are, and they want to know that you're interested in them. So these are some polls I did. I did one today. I did one yesterday. I asked people what they wanted from me. It's Thanksgiving week. What can I do to help you? And I put up some polls and asked them what they wanted, and I got a lot of good engagement. Today, I was just hey, I want to know about you. How do you do Black Friday, right? People love to tell you stuff. People love to tell you about themselves. And so I always say, be more interested in your followers than you want them to be interested in you, all right? And you can do that by just throwing up a non-business related poll every single day, and people are going to vote in it. And when they vote in it, you're going to message them about that topic, and you are going to start a conversation. Content generates conversations, you guys. You never, ever will run out of people to talk to if you are doing these things on a daily basis. So definitely throw those polls up every single day. I've got on here, use reels. I don't have time to get into all that, but definitely just use the new features that Instagram is giving you, and they will reward you. If you've been doing reels, you can tell me in the comments. Like, I know that your engagement is up, and I will tell you that the people that watch and like and comment on my reels are not the same people who like and comment on my posts or my stories. It's a whole new market for me. So make sure you're doing those things and just do it scared. When someone engages on my polls, which they do, sometimes if it's related to my challenge groups or coaching, honestly, you guys, I don't get a lot of engagement on those polls, but I'm still putting them up there and out anyways. But on polls like this, I get a lot of engagement, and I don't let anyone go unnoticed. Like, I don't care who it is. If it's, I get some coaches who do engage in my content. I don't really spend as much time on them. But if there are people who are my challengers, my coaches, or my prospects, they get a message from me. So I respond. You have to set a reminder sometimes, because they do go away after 24 hours. But I respond to everybody who votes in my polls. And I definitely connect. Like on this one, it was, what was it? What would help most? Healthier recipes or healthy mindset tips? And so, like, depending on what they voted, I just asked them. If they said, I want healthier recipes, I was like, you got it. It's coming at you. Tell me what your favorite Thanksgiving dish is, right? So I asked them a question, so they're going to respond. And so I start a conversation. If I start a conversation with these people, I track it. You can do that however you want to. This is not a tracking call, but track your conversation so you know who to keep the conversation alive with. And then I convert these conversations into invitations. And so, like, I've been talking to these people, we've connected over Black Friday shopping, whatever. But in the meantime, I'm still talking about my challenge groups. I'm still talking about the coaching opportunity. So a week or so from now, I'm going to say, hey, Sally, sorry, I know we've been talking about all this other stuff, but I know you see what I do. Would you be interested or open to learning more about my Full Life Project Bootcamp? Do you have some health and fitness goals yourself? And, sometimes people are like, nah, thanks, but, I love following you. Some people are like, yes, oh my gosh, I got to lose this COVID-19. It's just really easy to start real conversations that lead to real, genuine invites. And it's not complicated. It just takes work and it takes repetition, all right? And so if they say no, I continue to serve them because I know I'm adding value. I know I'm putting content out there that's gonna help people, even if they don't join my challenge group. And then when it comes to stories, just some tips. Again, get creative, talk to your followers. Make sure you're not just talking all videos. Like, people get tired of that. Make sure you're mixing it up with boomerangs, some stills, that type of things. Ask questions. Definitely use those features, the polls, the question box, the music, the emojis. Like, just figure it out as you go. But definitely invite people daily. All right. And then the last thing, plan out your content. Don't wing it. Don't wing it, okay? It is Thanksgiving week. If you're like, oh, it's Tuesday, I'm going to put up a post about my challenge group, and I'm going to lay out all the stuff and, what you need to do to join me. That's great, and you should be doing that. But 2 days before Thanksgiving, people are just going to scroll on past it, right? But if you post a transformation photo and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm finishing my 30-day breakaway. I'm going to run a 5K for the first time. I'm actually going to do it on Thanksgiving, and it's going to feel so good to get up and run and work out and all this stuff. And people are going to connect with that. They're going to want to do that, right? So think about your content. People are going to be sick and stuffed and overwhelmed come Sunday night and Monday morning. That's when you post your challenge group post, right? That's when you throw up your stories and talk about what you have to offer in December. So think about your content. I posted this, it's just a screenshot from what I posted in my my new coach launchpad. And so, like, I actually sat down really quickly as I typed it out and thought about what I wanted to share this week in my content. And that's pretty closely what I will stick with, but I have a plan. Like, I don't have to wake up and wonder, what do I do today, right? And that gives me peace. I can enjoy my family. I'm not scrambling for photos. I'm not scrambling for content. This gives me peace in my work. And this content, like I say here, matches my goals. I'm at Success Club 10. Like I have hit that basic goal for myself. I'm not trying to recruit a lot of coaches this week, but I'm still planting seeds for that. And I know that I will have added value and shared my story this week when it comes time to hit it hard again next week. Again, I already talked about this. Make sure you're engaging with other people's content every day. It's not just about you. Build relationships. People are on social media because they want to be social. So go be social with them. And then obviously give clear call to actions. When you're making posts, I don't care if it is about that recipe you're sharing, that you're not asking people to join your challenge group, or maybe it's one of those funny mom quotes. Like, make sure you ask them something in your post, because people will engage the more you do this, right? Have you ever yelled at your kids? Tag a friend below who needs this encouragement today. Bookmark this post. This is a great recipe. We have it all the time. Tell me your favorite Thanksgiving memory, right? Just tell people what to do, and that will help build the relationship, and it will get people taking action every day too. And when it comes to your social media content, what you are putting out there, you could be like, I'm doing all the things, Rachel, but I don't know what's working, what my audience responds to. Good news is that Instagram will tell you. If you have a business account, which I do, I highly recommend it. I know not everybody does, but I can actually go and look and see what my audience liked. So this white quote you see here from last week, I actually used that like months and months ago. Like I just recycled it because my audience loved it when I did it the last time, and they loved it again. And so you can actually go and look and see what people like. People love when I share a recipe. They love when I share about my kids. They love when I share my faith. Hello, that's my brand. That's my color wheel, right? So I must be doing something right. And so go and reflect on that, and also ask somebody else to audit your account. And you may be like, I don't want anybody to audit my account. I know it's wrong, but it still helps to have a pair of eyes from the outside. And also too, like, it's not just about like what gets the best numbers, but definitely think about what brings you joy to share about. My friend Abby's on here, and when she talks about her husband, like I can tell she just loves him. Like there's no doubt in my mind. She loves that man. They may not have a perfect marriage, but they have a good marriage, And so like I can tell that brings her joy to share about. So, think about those types of things too as you're building your brand, you're building your business and your social media content. And it's really important, you guys, like I said before, to have a healthy relationship with social media. It's going to be so easy to get sucked in, to be sucked into the numbers, to be on there all day, but set some boundaries. I feel like we have been called to be stewards of this business, stewards of our social media. Don't let it own you. You control it, and keep a healthy relationship with it. I take Sundays off for the most part. I don't post. I don't think a lot about what I'm doing on social media on Sundays. And man, I come back strong on Monday morning. All right. So that's important too. And then when it comes to having that healthy relationship, these are just some of my best tips. Make sure you set hours for your screen time. Your phone will tell you how much time you've been on social this week. And so like sometimes that's a red flag for me. Matt holds me accountable. When I say ask for help, I can put it in a drawer, or, we've been out to dinner before and I have my phone out and he was like, Rachel, will you put that away? Right? Like make sure you have those people in your life. Plan your content. We talked about that helps you be a good steward. But also, like, I love this. Christy Wright said this: be where your feet are at. If it's family time, if it's date night, if it's time with friends, take your pictures, yes, but don't just be worried about posting or checking to see how many likes you got on that post or your story views. Like, be where your feet are at, and really that will help you stay healthy and focused on your goals too. And again, just like everything in this business, you've got to be consistent. You've got to be consistent. You can't post one week and take a week off and expect people to want to join you. You can't, say, oh, I fell off the wagon again on Monday, or, I got to start over every Monday. Like, be consistent in what you're doing and what you're putting out there, and people will come to you. People will come to you in January. If you're the girl right now, consistent in your social media, consistent in your fitness journey, consistent in sharing value and inviting people to do this with you. You may not be getting a lot of bites right now, but you will if you stay the course, because people are watching you. And that's all I got. That's all I got. You guys have any questions for me, or anything I can help you with specifically? He's a hottie. He is a hottie. Abby, you lucked out. Okay, somebody said, I have tried Reels, but it won't let me use certain features for some reason. I have no idea what that's about, but I know you can figure it out. I don't know what that's about. Somebody asked if you can go over a call to action and what it is. So a call to action, that is like, it's anything from join my challenge group, join my team. A call to action can be, what did I do today? Okay, so today I made a transformation post, like I said, and I told my story, and I even told people, hey, go check my stories out today. I'm sharing some healthy recipes. Like, that's a call to action. But I turned it into a coach invite. And so what I told people to do was go click the link in my bio or comment below. Nobody commented, but I saw that lots of people went to the link in my bio, right? So I told them what to do, and they did it. A call to action could be, drop your favorite holiday emoji below, and I'll send you my Thanksgiving healthy eating guide or something like that, right? It could be a funny mom quote, and you're like, moms gotta know, drop drop a heart emoji below if you feel me, or something like that. That's a call to action. Kat, I do not use third-party posting apps. I use Plan, Plann, just to plan my content, but I've used third-party posting apps, but I think that's a pretty big no-no. No. Sorry, I was asking me if you can have a Coke. Y'all, they are in sugar overload, like crap overload. It's insane. Okay. Anybody else? No more questions. Okay. That's all I got, Mel.
It's awesome. I swear our kids ask for things that they're not supposed to have when we're on calls, because they're like, we'll just go like this and say yes, but not.
Hey, listen, the other day he was doing work and I was on a call, and he wrote this. It says, I got 5 wrong. Like, he wrote it and slid it in front of me and walked away.
I know. Yeah. You're like a little turd.
Yeah.
I love it. That was awesome. And I think, Rachel, even for people that are listening and are like, I'm not at Rachel's level, right? Because I do think people think that what are like basic, like call to action, I'm just getting started, I'm trying to get my content together, what would your just end of the evening advice be to them as we wrap this up?
As far as call to actions, I would just say my best advice is like, what made you take action? Like, we all said yes. You have to remind yourself of that, whether you're new or old or whatever cycle you get stuck in your head. You said yes to somebody when they invited you, and it may have been a post that somebody made. It may have been an invite in your inbox, but like, what made you take action? And you want to speak to the woman who is there right now where you are, and just be really real and say, like, if my story resonates with you at all, will you just please come to my inbox? Will you please not stay quiet? Don't suffer alone. Drop an emoji below. Or if you don't even want to do that, like, come to my inbox. Like, I'm waiting. I'll be here for 30 minutes tonight, answering messages. And so, like, I think just being genuine and remembering that you had to start. You had a scary start, but somebody said just got you where you needed it to be. So don't be afraid to be really real and tell people what to do.
I love
Be
it.
bossy.
I love it. And don't worry about being perfect. You have to just get it out there. That's really how we all learn.
Yeah.
It's just taking that leap of faith. Yeah. Practice is what builds your confidence. So
Definitely.
absolutely. Yeah. It was awesome. Thank you, Rachel, so much for your time tonight. Go back and listen to this recording. I think that is also how you learn, is you go back, even the bio part, like cut it apart, take the steps, pull what the content that Rachel went over tonight and implement it and just practice. And then, go into the team pages and have discussions about the content that you're making. And that is the way that you learn. And I know that for me and for all of us, that's what we did. We just asked for support, asked for, feedback on what we were doing. All right. Okay, guys, go out there, have an awesome holiday week, and we'll get this recording posted, and we'll see you back here next Monday night for our last team call of November. All right. Bye, everybody.